health experts caution that improper hydration habits can compromise digestive health and exacerbate gastroesophageal reflux disease.
물을 마시는 잘못된 습관이 건강을 해치고 역류성 식도염을 심화시킬 수 있다는 전문가의 지적이 나왔습니다.
I think everybody has their own opinion about how you should drink water, and the debate goes on over many, many generations. Some people think you shouldn't drink while you're eating. Some people think you should only drink before. Some people after. Shouldn't drink cold water. Drink only warm water. Drink only cold water, not warm water. Everyone has their own specific opinion and way, I think.
What's your opinion?
I just drink a lot of water, generally.
Okay, so that's the number one priority. Drink a lot of water. That's as long as you get that done.
Yeah.
The temperature doesn't matter.
In the summer, I drink cold, and in the winter, I drink warm.
And it doesn't upset your stomach?
It's been okay so far. How about you?
So my theory is that the right way to drink is when you are thirsty and take sips in between. Right?
Drink when you're thirsty, okay.
Yeah, drink when you're thirsty.
So that's your scientific opinion.
So the scientific opinion is something else, but so my opinion is that the right way to drink is when you're thirsty and take sips in between. So if that means that you're drinking water while you are eating because you're getting thirsty or something is spicy or too greasy or you're trying to cleanse the palate, then that's okay. Drink water.
Okay.
Because there is this, I would like to say it's a myth, that you're not supposed to drink water when you're eating.
Well, the concern here is that it can cause reflux symptoms like heartburn because you're opening your esophagus while you're eating, and so that can cause some of the acid in your stomach to rise up, apparently.
네, 밥 먹을 때 이제 물 마시면 안 된다는 얘기가 있는데, but that's not supported by modern Western medicine. 현대 의학에서는 전혀 근거가 없는 말입니다.
네.
So let me bust the two main myths that we have here in Korea and many parts of Asia as
Let's
well.
hear it.
Okay, so the first one. 밥 먹을 때 물 마시면 위산이 희석되고 펩신 효소가 멈춰서 소화가 안 된다. Busted. Nope. Because our stomach will adjust to the increased volume of water. They will produce more acid and keep the pH at the appropriate range.
Well, I don't know if you're going to be able to get rid of that myth, though. It's very strongly held in a lot of communities, especially among the older generation, I think.
네, 저희가 그래서 그 표현을 방금 전에 배웠었죠. Pervasive, 만연한, 널리 퍼진 myth입니다.
그렇죠.
Not just in Korea. 그리고 두 번째 myth, 밥 먹을 때 찬 음료 마시면 위가 멈춰서 소화가 안 된다. Also busted. Because our stomach will keep churning regardless of the temperature of your drink. But having said that, this is the truth for healthy adults, as is the case for many, most of the medical studies, double-blind, controlled studies that are done on humans. They are mostly done on healthy adults.
Right.
So if you have underlying issues, 기저 문제들 such as indigestion, 소화불량,
Right.
acid reflux, GERD or esophageal reflux, or if you're a child or the very elderly, then of course different rules apply to you. No one size fits all. So you have to just keep trying all these different methods.
Yeah.
다양한 방법 시도해보시고 monitor the symptoms by yourself. 스스로 이제 증상들을 추적 관찰하고 log, 기록하고 and see which one works for you. And so if you have indigestion problems, then probably best to drink lukewarm water as opposed to iced water
Sure.
that we drink.
Absolutely. That can shock your stomach maybe a little bit. Absolutely. You have to work out what works for you and make sure that you're not compromising your health with your water drinking habits. To compromise something means to weaken it or to impair it. So compromise your health means to negatively affect your health. So, for example, a compromised immune system can result from some diseases.
That's right. Compromise health라고 하면 건강을 해치다라고 하고요. If your immune system has been compromised, 그러면 면역력이 이미 내려갔다라는 뜻입니다.
And of course, many of our daily habits that we do can exacerbate health problems. To exacerbate means to make something worse, specifically a problem or a bad situation. You're making it worse.
Exacerbate 악화시키다라는 뜻입니다. 그러니까 없던 게 갑자기 생기는 게 아니라 기저질환이 있는데 그거를 더 악화시킨 거죠.
그럼요. Let's hear that again.
All right. Health experts caution that improper hydration habits can compromise digestive health and exacerbate gastroesophageal reflux disease. If you are unhealthy to begin with.
All right, let's move on to our last story. Seoul Grand Park celebrated the 100th day since the birth of a purebred tiger cub. It marks the first birth of its kind in 3 years thanks to conservation efforts for endangered species.
서울대공원에서 순수혈통 새끼 호랑이가 태어난 지 100일을 맞았습니다. 멸종위기종 보전 노력 끝에 3년 만에 귀한 새 생명이 탄생했습니다.
네.
애기 소랑이, 애기 호랑이, sorry, not 애기 소랑이, 애기 호랑이.
So, this is a pure Siberian tiger, also known as a Baekdu tiger, which of course used to be all over the Korean peninsula, and they were hunted to extinction during the Japanese occupation of Korea. Because actually tiger attacks used to be a common threat in Korea during the Joseon dynasty. They would attack people and especially attack livestock, attack your animals. And there's even stories about them patrolling along the tops of the palace walls and then jumping down and grabbing people and dragging them off.
You know your Korean history, wow.
Well, that's a really interesting part of it, absolutely. So the Japanese actually organized hunts to wipe out the tigers on purpose for sport and also to prevent tiger attacks. So the last one was seen in the wild in 1921 in Korea.
Okay.
But now they're back in the zoo.
They are back in the zoo, and as you mentioned, she is a purebred 순수혈통 공주님입니다.
Right, both the parents are 15 years old, which normally would be too old for breeding, but these conservation efforts that are happening at the Seoul Grand Park allowed them to have this new baby. It's the first one since April 2002, when I don't know if you remember, there was 3 baby tigers born, 해랑, 파랑, and 사랑.
Oh, wow. I wasn't aware.
미사랑 말고.
미소랑 말고. What's the name of this one then?
There's no name yet. They're going to be naming it publicly. There's going to be a big vote that goes around in mid-November, around the time. So it has to go through quite a few rounds of vaccinations to make sure that it survives.
Just like all babies.
Right. So you want to be absolutely certain that the baby is going to survive before we're putting, our whole hearts behind it. So it's going to be a public contest.
All right. 그래서 오는 11월 중순에 이제 1차, 2차, 3차, 4차 예방접종이 다 끝나거든요. 그 시점에 이제 이 공주님을 대중에게 공개할 건데 그때 시민 공모를 통해서 정한다고 합니다. What would you name this tiger?
Steve.
Steve? She's a princess.
Actually, my...
Is that a gender-neutral name?
No. Well, yeah, that's actually not a good name for a tiger. Actually, my son is called Bekko, his Korean name.
Oh, that's why you know your tigers. You like tigers to begin with.
Bekko. 네.
아, 정말요?
네.
Okay.
So this is... go ahead.
Can you ask me for my opinion?
I'm so sorry. What's your opinion?
저는 소랑이라고 부를래요. 소랑이, 호랑이. 귀엽잖아요.
That's pretty good, but that was the name of the other one, 사랑. Oh, it's...
소랑.
Yeah, okay. Sure, that works. I like it. And it also sounds like a little bit like a roar of a tiger.
소랑, 호랑.
So this is the first tiger of its kind in 3 years at the park. If something is of its kind, it means it's very exceptional or unique. It stands out in its particular category.
Of its kind. If it's one of a kind, then it is very unique.
Right.
Right?
Right. In this case, it's the first of its kind, or you could say the last of its kind. It definitely marks something special about that thing.
네, 그래서 first of its kind라고 해서 모모 중에 최초라는 뜻이 되었습니다.
So this tiger is born thanks to conservation efforts. Of course, if you say something is thanks to something else, it's a positive thing that happens as a result of or because of, but in a positive way.
Thanks to가 덕분에 모모에
네.
기인해서라는 뜻이죠. So we got through all the news articles thanks to you.
You're welcome.
Here's the article once more. Seoul Grand Park celebrated the 100th day since the birth of a purebred tiger cub. It marks the first birth of its kind in 3 years, thanks to conservation efforts for endangered species.